It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
It's showtime. What's happening, everybody? Yes, you know what it is. You know what time it is. Like Dame Dollar, NBA superstar, says it's Dame time. No. Right now, it is Geno Jones showtime. I come to you live, right here live on my YouTube channel, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. if you're in Chicago, 3:30 p.m. out on the West Coast, on the West Side. Please subscribe, share, and like the Geno Jones channel, the Geno Jones Show. Please subscribe, share all the episodes, copy the link, and paste it. You could screen grab some of the show, some of the content, and create a viral moment. You got my permission. You can do it. Put it up on TikTok, on Instagram, put it on Triller. You can put it on Twitter, Facebook, all those great platforms. Please subscribe, share, and like the Geno Jones Show. I appreciate all my new subscribers. Come on, keep it up, y'all. Almost 1 year. I'll be approaching 1 year. I'm going to talk about that in the future. I'm looking to put together like a special show or maybe a week's worth of shows celebrating my 1 year anniversary of doing the Geno Jones Show live right here on this platform. And if you'd like to be a sponsor, if you'd like to advertise, if you're looking for the ultimate pitch man to help you build your brand, your business, to help you generate sales and revenue, I am the king. I ain't the king. I'm the king of pitchmen. So just leave me a message, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. You can reach out to me on Gmail. You can leave me a message right here today. Our military expert, Master Sergeant Roy Gray, is going to come in. We'll be talking about this story that everybody's talking about. General Mark Milli. Yes, black folks in South Carolina saved the democracy with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. General Mark Milli might have saved the world. We're going to tell you all about that shortly. Right now, some music news. I got to talk about this. Man, I saw this story. I'm like, really? The gloves are off. So music fans, legendary producer Jermaine Dupri, Mr. So Def, wants to battle Diddy on Verzuz. Matter of fact, he basically sent out I think it was a tweet or posted it on Instagram, social media, one of the two, maybe both. And he said basically he wanted to battle Diddy, Sean Combs, Puffy, P. Diddy. Now his new name is Love. I don't know what the hell. Like every 5 minutes, this dude is changing his name. Diddy, I love you, but listen, dude, I can't remember all these damn names. Pick one. You can pick whatever, but I'm gonna pick one. So you can have as many as you want, but I'm picking one. All right. So Diddy, oh boy, did Diddy have a comeback for my man Jermaine Dupri. Diddy said that he would smash Jermaine Dupri like a jelly bean with just the Biggie and Mariah J. Blige songs. He said, Dr. Dre is the only one that could get in the ring with him. Well, hold the Ciroc, Diddy. Hold on. Put the Ciroc down. Sound like you done had one too many. Now, let's talk about my man Jermaine Dupri's catalog just a little bit, all right? Janet Jackson, who he dated for a while. I still could not figure out. Janet, I guess you saw the producer in him, because I don't know what else you saw in the brother. I'm just saying, I ain't saying it. Look, Jermaine Dupri's a great producer, but ain't nobody said that he should be on the cover of GQ as a male model. But that's a whole nother conversation. No shade, just fact. But anyway, speaking of fact, let's talk about Jermaine Dupri, because in the studio, Jermaine Dupri, he is a killer. He is the man. So Janet Jackson, Alicia Keys, Aretha Franklin. Oh yeah, you didn't know that? Yeah, Jermaine Dupri worked with the Queen of Soul, rest in peace, power in paradise, Miss Aretha Franklin, Monica. Jermaine Dupri got Jay-Z's Money Ain't a Thing. Mariah Carey's We Belong Together, Sweetheart, the remixes he's done for Mariah. Basically, he put the soul not back into Mariah. He put the soul and R&B into Mariah. She got away from one of her ex-husbands, Tommy Mottola, who was basically, she said felt like she was in prison. That's a whole nother conversation at another show. So when she got away from Tommy Mottola because he didn't want her to be too black. Now, I know you biracial, but we don't want you to be too black because we want you to appeal to as many white folks as possible. That was the real deal. But Mariah, she had that soul. She wanted to tap into the black side. She was like, hold on now, wait a minute. And she got with Jermaine Dupri, and the rest is history. All right, let's talk about Dru Hill. I love one of the greatest remixes, In My Bed. Somebody sleeping in my bed. So the remix, he did that remix. The Brat was on there. Speaking of the Brat repping the 60644 in Chicago, Funkified and all the Brat's music. All right. Welcome to Atlanta with Luda. Oh, that is a classic all-time joint right there. Just basically half of Usher's whole damn catalog, from You Make Me Wanna to Confessions, and so many hits he did with Usher. Stop sleeping on Usher, man. Really? Usher. Y'all sleep on Usher. Usher's kind of chilling now, but if Usher was really popping, Drake and all these cats, they'd had to bow down to Usher. Now let's just keep it 1,000. Escape, Jagged Edge, Bow Wow, Crisscross, Jump, Jump. Remember that? Jump, Jump. Nelly, T.I. Come on, man. Come on, Diddy. Now, Diddy, no disrespect. Now, Diddy's done his thing. I think Diddy is less of a producer. Jermaine is like, to me, a producer's producer. Beats, songwriting, the whole nine thing. Diddy is Diddy. Diddy, he can find some great samples. I'll give him that. Nobody's accused Diddy of being a great songwriter and really getting in there doing them original beats, but he can't find those samples. Now, Diddy has produced 200 solo songs, 6 solo albums, and 72 solo songs. Because, he'll put his name on anything, basically, and everybody else is really doing the work. Now, Jermaine Dupri has produced 400 songs, 42 singles, and he's had about 6 solo albums. So really, Diddy's probably put his name on more songs, but in terms of actually producing actual songs, Jermaine Dupri has got him like 2-1. But I think it would be a great battle. I can't wait to see it. So let's make a segue here. Black folks in South Carolina, save this democracy. You would not have President Joe Biden. Now, yes, my sisters and brothers in Atlanta, yes, when you all had that special election in January of this year, 2021, and you went back and you voted for Senator Raphael Warnock and Senator John Ossoff, first black man, the first Jewish brother to ever become a senator in Georgia? In Georgia? Yeah. And that gave President Biden at least a 50-50 tie in the Senate, even though I don't know how much that is, because you got Senator Joe Manchin in West Virginia and Kristen Sinema in Arizona. That's a different conversation for another show or earlier show. Just go back and binge watch. But basically, look, everybody that got that extra money, that second COVID stimulus money, all those who are getting the extra money every month, I think around the 15th, if you have children and you're getting that extra money in terms of child tax credit, all right? So you wouldn't have saw any of that because you wouldn't have seen a President Biden. Orange Hitler would really be going crazy, probably bombing China and Russia and every other damn country. Been pulled out of Afghanistan and wouldn't have rescued no damn body. He'd have just been like, look, y'all get up out of there. We out. Good luck. You're on your own. So thanks to the black people in South Carolina who basically took President Biden's campaign. He was like, right before he came here in the primary, I forgot what state, I think he came in like in 5th place. And they was like, oh, Joe too old and too slow. And he came here and like a scene out of the movie Black Panther, Joe Biden came here and his campaign was on a political ventilator. And the black folks in South Carolina took that vibranium and put it down Joe Biden's throat, and voila, the rest is history. You got President Joe Biden. So you're welcome on behalf of all the black people who voted for him in South Carolina, including myself. You're welcome. But General Mark Milley might have saved the world, in case you haven't heard. So General Mark Milley was a little nervous he and many other people saw that Mr. Orange Hitler, as I like to call him, was really unstable, was angry and depressed and just flipping out. As a matter of fact, Nancy Pelosi and General Mark Milley, who was the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, I believe he is the number one man in the military over all the different branches of government. And if I'm wrong, Master Sergeant Gray, our military expert, he will correct us in just about 60 seconds. So anyway, Nancy Pelosi and General Milley had a conversation, and Nancy Pelosi was like, that fool is crazy. He is going to start a nuclear war probably with China or somebody. Can you make sure that he does not, that he don't destroy the world and start a nuclear war? In paraphrasing, General Milley said, listen, I agree with everything you're saying. Yeah, he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. Straight cuckoo, straight cray, as they say in the hood. But we got it. All I can tell you, I can't tell you everything, but I can just tell you, listen, Speaker Pelosi, we got this. All right? Had a conversation. As a matter of fact, according to this new book by these legendary reporters, Bob Woodward and a guy named Robert Costa. And in this book, apparently, there was General Milley had a meeting in this, they call a situation room. It is like a very secluded room in the Pentagon. Basically, the White House has a situation room. When something major is about to jump off, that's where they sit and have a conversation. So General Milley apparently got all the other top military leaders around this table and said, look, don't you, I'm paraphrasing. I'm going to do a dramatic reenactment, a Geno Jones show reenactment of General Mark Milley. Look, damn it, don't y'all do a damn thing. Don't nobody push no button, turn no key. I don't care what that orange food tells you. Don't nobody do nothing until you talk to me first. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Do you understand? Yes, sir. Do you understand? Yes, sir. You got it? Look me in the eye, damn it. You understand? Yes, sir. Now, allegedly, according to this book I just told you about, General Milley even had to talk to the Joint Chiefs of Staff of the Chinese military, because also some of this reporting is say like China was so nervous that they felt they got some intelligence that this orange dude might start some kind of war or launch a nuclear weapon toward China. So the word is the Chinese military was like, we better have some kind of preemptive, we may have to make a move first. Oh, it got that crazy, according to this reporting in this brand new book, or basically reporting in this new book. So anyway, so General Milley had to get on the phone with the head of the Chinese military and say, hey, hold on, partner. Well, I need y'all to just take a deep breath, count to 10, take you some anxiety and stress supplements, get some melatonin, but I'm gonna need you to you need to calm down, calm your ass down. All right, whatever you all were planning, stop it. We got this. Democracy is messy. His quote, democracy can be messy sometimes. We got it under control. Even though General Milley really was like, we really ain't quite got it because this food may just really snap. And according to the book, now there's been some dispute about whether or not this part actually happened. According to the book by Bob Woodward and Robert Costa, General Milley told the Joint Chiefs of the Chinese military, look, if this fool, if he launches a nuclear weapon, I'll at least let y'all know, give y'all heads up, like, hey, y'all might want to duck, because this fool just went and pushed the button, and I couldn't stop him. That's how crazy it supposedly got, according to the reporting in this book. So I want to separate fact from fiction. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want to waste any more time. If you are a regular of the show, you've seen this man on. He is the official military expert here, over 2 decades in serving our country. Master, retired, because there's no such thing as a former Marine. I've learned that. He is a retired Master Sergeant in the United States Marine. Ladies and gentlemen, our version of General Milley, Roy Gray. Master Sergeant Gray, thank you for your service and your sacrifice once again. So listen, I'm gonna shut up. I did enough of the monologue. I'm just gonna pass you the mic and get your take on this whole story with General Milli and the links that he went to, as far as I'm concerned, not just save the democracy, possibly save the damn world from this food. So your take.
Well, first of all, anyone that is criticizing the general, I just want to say to you, shut the hell up.
Wait, for those who didn't say it, because your audio was breaking up a little bit, for those in the back that's watching, just say that last part again.
What I said was, anyone that is criticizing the general, shut up and go sit down.
You got that?
And sit down.
And he cleaned it up. So I'm going to translate it. Sit your ass down and shut the hell up. Go sit down some damn way.
The general is to be honored and commended for his loyalty to the country and to the Constitution. We need men like him. Someone suggested that the general should have resigned and went public. If you resign, you're on the outside looking in and you can't do anything. And there's no guarantee. Now, first of all, had he resigned, Donald Trump would have put a yes man in there. And then we're in trouble. Even though you're going public, there's nothing you can do from the outside. So the general, he did the correct thing. He got everybody in line and told them what was not going to happen. And so everybody, if you got any now, of course, under normal circumstances, what he did is outrageous, over the top, should never happen. A general should never make a move like that. But these are extraordinary circumstances. We had a man in the White House who was unstable. His own aides have said that he was unstable. Everyone knew that he was unstable. The Chinese, the Russians, all of these other countries' leaders, they knew that he was unstable and that he might possibly do something to prolong his time in the White House. So the general is to be commended for stepping up and standing his ground and standing right in the middle of everything to make sure that we're all still safe to this day.
And Master Sergeant, a little history lesson for those who may be watching. Something similar like this, not to this extent, but something similar happened right at the end of the Nixon administration. Was, I think, around 74 or somewhere around that time, just before he resigned, when they told him, look, you're gonna have to go, partner. Either you resign or we're gonna impeach you and we're gonna convict you. I don't know who the Joint Chiefs of Staff was at the time, but apparently whoever the Joint Chiefs of Staff and some of the other high-ranking military, civilian military, I believe, a guy named Alexander Haig. I don't know if he was the Secretary of Defense, but people in that part of the administration, those leaders, basically were having a conversation because, according to everything I've heard and read, Nixon was depressed and drunk every day because he knew his ass was about to get impeached, and they were nervous. It was like, yo, this dude is hitting this bottle like his tap water, and he may do something crazy. So we need to have a plan just in case he get really sloppy drunk and just be like, F it, just hit the button. We need to make sure that we got some systems in place that this food don't go ahead and start a nuclear war and destroy the world. So,
right.
You familiar with that?
Yeah, I didn't, I hadn't read up on that one, but I just wanted to make a point here. Here is a man that caused a group of terrorists to attack the Capitol. If he will attack his own Capitol, he wouldn't hesitate to attack someone else.
Wow.
So you have to keep that in mind.
That part.
He attacked our own Capitol, so he wouldn't hesitate to attack someone else to keep himself in office.
So I guess the Chinese kind of knew that. They was like, look, this dude is crazy. He don't care. He'll attack his own country. He'll definitely come after us. So that makes a lot of sense. So Master Sergeant, let me ask you something. So could you kind of take us behind the scenes quickly and explain to us Who would be in that conversation in that special room in the Pentagon? I guess that's you could call it the Situation Room, the Pentagon's version of the Situation Room. Who's part of that chain? Is it the head of the different branches? Because the joint Milli is like the boss of the head of the Army, the Marines, Air Force, the Navy. Am I correct? So who would be part of that conversation?
You would have the senior generals from each branch of service in that room. And now under normal circumstances, the vice president would probably be in there also.
Okay.
But as we all know, he was just another yes man.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't have done any good to have him in that room, because we know where even though they were talking about hanging him when they attacked the Capitol, he has no backbone whatsoever, and he is still riding with the man who was talking about hanging him.
And it's funny you mentioned Mike Pence. Let me just jump in here because we also found out, speaking of Mike Pence, so Mike Pence went to another former vice president, a guy named Dan Quayle, who couldn't spell potato, but I guess he could spell democracy and patriotism, because he basically told Mike Pence, and ironically, both of these men are from Indiana. They both wound up being a vice president, and Dan Quayle is now retired in Arizona. So he calls Dan Quayle, we're talking about Mike Pence, and Dan Quayle basically said, listen, dude, just stop, okay? Just forget it, leave it alone. I know this dude is crazy, but no, you don't have any power. You can't, you got to certify this election. None of the shenanigans, all this, just stop it. No, you don't have any power. It can't happen. Let it go. And he told him, he said, but you don't know what kind of pressure I'm under. And Quayle said, I do know, but one thing I do know, that we take an oath to the Constitution. Could you briefly speak on that? Because I don't think people understand how men and women who currently serve our country, who have served our country like yourself, people don't get it. You don't take an oath to know even the president. That oath is to the Constitution. And for those who never served in the military, could you explain what that actually means?
You are sworn to defend the country against all enemies, foreign and domestic. All enemies, foreign and domestic. And the people that sign, now you remember most of our services now are volunteers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
They are volunteers, and they take this oath very seriously. That's why General Milli stood in the gap for us, because he takes that oath very serious. We have many men and women have shed their blood simply after taking that oath. General Milli is a prime example. He would not let anything happen to this country and our Constitution. And so he is the prime example of a true patriot. And he's a prime example of the type of people that you have defending the country.
I love it. Well, listen, and General Milli, listen, he doesn't come without controversy, because when Orange Hitler, basically, there was a Black Lives Matter march in Washington, D.C., and basically Orange Hitler decided that he was going to tear gas, and he had these secret police, people from different branches in the military, and they were dressed like in all black, and they didn't have any name plates or anything, name patches, and basically went and cleared out and tear gas all these Black Lives Matter protesters. So your boy could stand in front of a church holding the Bible upside down and backwards. How much of a jackass can, and nobody even thought, hey, you might want to turn that around and then turn it right side up, because you're holding it upside down and it's backwards. We can't even see the Holy Bible. That's it. Listen, Master Sergeant, that one moment should have we knew it's like, we are really in trouble, because this dude is, and he had that whole plaza cleared out. And General Milli was walking along with him. This was happening on live TV, and General Milli took a lot of heat. And I think the next day he was like, look, basically, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have been there, my bad. But he did make sure that he made several public statements. You can elaborate, between November 3rd or 2nd, when the November 3rd, when the actual election happened, up until January 20th, when President Biden was sworn in. And he basically, and he made the statement public, or it became public, to all the branches of the military that basically, look, whatever this dude is planning, we ain't down with it. You are not going to get the military involved in any coup, like you said. We take an oath, not to you, but to the Constitution. And we are sworn to defend this country from, like you said, any enemies, foreign or domestic. See you, dude. All right. So.
And, you know, you could tell that the general was very uncomfortable when he walked to that church with Donald Trump. I mean, you could see it on his face that he did not want to be there. But, you know, he's in the chain of command. He had no choice. He had to go. But it was obvious that he did not want to be there. And he let everybody know that later on.
Yeah, he did. Right. I would love to. I wish we could have had like a hidden mic or like a mic in his, you know, somewhere in his head where you could actually hear what he was thinking. If his thoughts were like out loud and we could hear, because I'm sure that, yeah, he was basically cussing this dude out like this.
Oh, yeah.
This, you got me in yo blank, got me all caught up in this foolishness, and folks now looking at me like I'm crazy. So, yeah.
But you know what? One point I'd like to make now, somewhere down the road, years from now, when they declassify a lot of this information,
yeah,
we're going to find out just how close we came to going over the cliff with Donald Trump. That may not be anytime soon, but eventually, you know, this is going to come out and you're going to know exactly what he was trying to do.
Saying that, let me get your expertise opinion. Seeing how, especially now finding out how far General Milli went, how close do you think that this dude must have said something to General Milli or said something to somebody else, and somebody went back to General Milli and was like, hey man, this dude is really thinking about, this dude might launch some kind of nuclear strike on, who knows, China or whoever. How close do you think, based on what we have now learned, the links that General Milli went to make sure that nothing crazy happened, how close do you think we got to really?
I think we got closer than we'll ever really know, because Nancy Pelosi brought this up also. So that means that something was said somewhere to set all of this in motion.
Good point.
We all know that he's unstable. The Chinese know he's unstable, and the Russians know he's unstable. So something came up somewhere, some intelligence from somewhere. Donald Trump might have said something in one of his meetings.
Okay.
And you have to, you have to take him serious for what he's saying.
True.
Because we know he does crazy stuff. So I'm pretty sure something was said, and then they just, the general just took the ball and ran with it from there. He just decided, I need to do something now before something more serious happens.
So everybody listen, I don't know what General Milli's favorite food is. I don't know if he likes fried chicken and collard greens or hot water cornbread, or maybe he's a pasta dude, or maybe he could be a vegan. we at least send a brother like a thank you card to the Pentagon. Yeah, they'll put his name on it. It'll get to him. One more thing, Master Sergeant, before you get out. All jokes aside, this could be a very serious weekend. Of course, we know some of the same domestic terrorists, white supremacists, that basically stormed the Capitol and engaged in an insurrection to try to overthrow our government, are once again going to Washington, D.C. Now, supposedly, the Capitol Police are really going to be ready. They put up some of the fencing they had. I think I heard there's been a request for the D.C. National Guard to be on standby. What do you expect, and what do you think? I'm sure General Milli and all the generals understand this too. What do you think? What preemptive measures do you think they've taken? What kind of conversations have they had? I'm sure there are plans that we, the public, don't know about. What might some of those plans be?
Well, I'm sure that they are more than prepared this time. Not like last time. I'm sure they'll have plenty of people, plenty of backup if anything gets out of hand. like it did last time. As a matter of fact, I doubt it if it would even go that far, because I'm sure they have a backup plan already in place for anything that might occur.
What might that backup plan look like?
Oh, well, I'm sure they've got the National Guard and everybody on standby, so they're going to have more than enough people there to handle any situation that might go down. And like I've said in the past, all of these crazy people attacking the Capitol, you cannot win. You cannot. There's no way. If anything happens, should any shooting ever start anywhere, yes, a few people are going to be hurt. But if the 82nd Airborne should happen to come to D.C., it's all over.
I was hoping you were going to share that with some of the folks that may not have seen you when you were on. You had that conversation, because I said, so Master Sergeant, what would have been the worst case scenario had these terrorists, domestic terrorists, these white supremacists and neo-Nazis and Ku Klux Klan members, had they lived out their fantasy, literally lynched Mike Pence, so he's hanging from this the thing they built to hang him right in front of the Capitol. Had they found Speaker Pelosi, killed her, maybe somebody like Representative Clyburn, who many of the terrorists stormed his office, and then some of the other leaders. Maybe they somehow found Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. I don't know if she would, but she would not have been there because she hadn't been sworn in. So worst case scenario, had they gotten to the Capitol and took it over and said, listen, nobody's going to certify the election, and we are taking over the government, citizens arrest. And I asked you what would have happened, and you said that they would have gotten a visit from, you can tell them again who the 82nd Airborne Division is.
Look, Fort Bragg is just right down the road from D.C. Like I said, some people may have gotten hurt, but that was one fight they cannot win if it gets serious. They cannot win. You got Fort Bragg right down the highway, and then you got Camp Lejeune just a little farther down the road. If they bring out those infantry Marines and the 82nd Airborne, school is out. You can't win.
As a matter of fact, can I paraphrase it, because I loved it. So Master Sergeant Gray said, whoever was in it, he said, listen, Geno, had that happen, whoever was in that Capitol, by the time, like you said, the Marines from Camp Lejeune? Yep. And the 82nd Air Division. And now what branch of the military is the 82nd Airborne? You hear a lot about that, but who are they?
Bragg is an Army base.
Okay. So you said basically whoever was in that Capitol that shouldn't have been there, had they not left by the time the 82nd Airborne Division and the Marines from Camp Lejeune got there, you said it would have, and I'm quoting, there would have been a problem.
Yes. Wait, you cannot. So.
And I'm assuming it wouldn't have been any conversation like some of the Capitol Police. Well, could you guys please, can you leave now? It's time to go home. It wouldn't. No conversation.
No. You leave right now. One way.
All right, good deal. Listen. We love having you on. Retired Master Sergeant Roy Gray, United States Marine Corps. Salute to your service and your sacrifice. Hey, listen, thank you so much. Have a great evening. And you know what? Every time I have you on and I ask you about this, I do feel my anxiety and stress level goes down, because we're living in really some dangerous times. And it's
because, well, wait a minute, just remember this. The United States is never outgunned. We may not use everything that we have, but you don't have more than we have. Remember that.
All right, so that's to all the insurrectionists and the the treasonous, all those white supremacists and right-wing white militias that's been stockpiling weapons. You heard it from the Master Sergeant. Y'all may have some weapons, but the United States military got some weapons that even some of you all who was recently in the military don't know about. So,
Exactly. All right.
Master Sergeant Roy Gray, thank you once again. Have a great evening, and we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you later.
All right. There you go. That's my guy right there, Master Sergeant Roy Gray. There you go. Can't outgun this country. That's one thing you can't do. Thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. God, most of all, thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. I come to you live Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central, 3:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Please subscribe, share, and like the Geno Jones channel right here on my YouTube channel, the Geno Jones Show. All right, if you'd like to advertise, if you'd like to be a sponsor, I'd love to have you as a sponsor. I'd love to have you advertise on the show. Please reach out to me if you're looking for the ultimate pitch man to help build your, or they call it brand ambassador now, to help build your brand, your business, to help you generate sales and revenue. I'm the king. I'm not the king. I'm the king of pitch men. Just leave me a message. Email Geno Jones Show. That's how you spell it, Geno Jones Show at Gmail. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hair stylist for the Geno Jones Show. He's on Instagram, Kelby Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Alexandria Jones, Bruce Gage, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Alexandria Jones, fashion designer, fashion design student at my alma mater, Columbia College, Chicago. She is on Instagram, _ that's the line at the bottom, _ Lexi, LEXXIE space Nicole, NICOLE designs, or Alexandria, ALEXANDRIA Jones. Bruce Gage, you can search just Bruce, GAGE, Bruce Gage on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. I really do. I love each and every one of you. Mother, I know you're watching. I love you more than life itself. Tomorrow, another live edition of the Geno Jones Show, 6:30 p.m. Eastern. In the meantime, go back and watch this episode. If you came in the middle of it, you missed some of it, you can, in about 30 seconds, you can go back and binge watch the whole episode, or you can go back and watch last night's episode. Was fire. You got to check that out. If you missed it last night, you got to see it. All right. I had a message for the politicians and public figures, including a lot of our entertainers, especially our brothers and sisters, our black entertainers and singers and rappers, from Nicki Minaj. I talked to Nicki Minaj and T.I. and Busta Rhymes and Tank and a whole bunch of folks. And I got to throw Teddy Riley in, and I love T.R., but come on, all right? Basically talking about this vaccine, you shouldn't get vaccinated. In essence, that's what a lot of them are saying, okay? Listen, do no harm. That was my message last night, all right? Politicians, public figures, and all people, do no harm. That's the least you can do. If you can't help, don't hurt. Do no harm. So check out last night's episode also. I will see you again, a live edition tomorrow, Thursday, 6:30 p.m. As always, thank you so much. Thank you so much once again. And one final thing, I always like to close the show by saying this: be blessed. See you next time.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.